The name is Law Nation. As the room fill up, be sure to smash upon the like button. Let's get this thing going the best way possible. Really thank each and every last one of you all for tuning in. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around the globe, the Dallas Cowboys is right in that spot that we normally be in around this year. Will the Cowboys make the necessary move? Will they get a chance and an opportunity to better their team with a veteran guy? And the questioning that all of us been wanting to know since they got rid of Amari Cooper, who would be the other wide receiver on the opposite side of CeeDee Lamb. Now, Michael Gallup, we like what he brings to the table, but naturally we know that Michael Gallup is a third option. And on top of that, he's always been the third option. Now, we wanted him to be the second option, and this is nothing. No shade thrown at him. But I truly believe him at the third option is better than the second option. Now, he did get paid, but when you look back at his resume, it speaks volumes of, hey, third option, third down and long, you may want to throw him the rock or what have you, because he is not going to be a guy that can win on his individual routes day in and day out. But we've seen the growth aspect of CeeDee Lamb. He went from being the second option straight to the first option, and he propelled. And he pretty much showcased a lot of promises. But in this game of football, pass happy league, you want all of your options to be solid. And I think that will better suit the Cowboys. Go out there and get another commodity. Now, it's been Odell Beckham versus DeAndre Hopkins. And first and foremost, Odell Beckham came out earlier today and said, hey, where's this news? Where's this fake news saying that I want $20 million? All I'm saying is basically, I'm not going to settle for 4. Now, we can go back and forward with each other and say, hey, this guy's value worth at this and this guy value worth at that. Now, he's still on the market, and every day Odell Beckham is on the market, his price tag will do this organically. It's going to go down organically. And on top of that, it is what it is. Now, when you think of it, I'm glad that somebody brought up money, and Eastside Harold brought up the money. Thank you for jumping in. He's a diehard Cowboy fan, by the way. He said $60 million contract for third option. That's the Dallas Cowboys. Just because, I want you guys to write this down, just because you pay something for something doesn't mean that all of a sudden, organically, your money that you paid for said product is going to better the product. No, that doesn't work that way. No one can show me tangible evidence of tape of Michael Gallup since he's been in the National Football League as the number 2 option or as the number 1 option. He was given that money because of they thinking that he will become a number 2. He didn't get paid that, unfortunately, because of his production. He was paid because of the fact that they thought that he was going to be a number 2. Now, granted, there's nothing wrong with 3s. There's nothing wrong with being the 3. Because now, especially on how the Cowboys ran and operated their plays or what have you, he can shine the brightest at that spot because now you can have your third or your number 2 DB on him and he can propel. He can propel himself. Nevertheless, if you are great at something, you wouldn't be looking at that said spot, meaning that the Dallas Cowboys been looking at finding another wide receiver. They thought that they can complement it and supplement it with, say it with me, ladies and gentlemen, a James Washington, right? They thought that they can do things by going out there and drafting a Jalen Tolbert, right? They always try to solidify with a Simi Fehoko. He's been on here for many of years now. But my thing is, the Dallas Cowboys must get out of their way, trust what they see from the market, and go out there and make things happen. This is a famous quote said by Jerry Wayne Jones in a few. He says, but before I go there, let me shout out to Jason. Let's just get both. Get both of them, man, huh? Hey, you said just get both of them, huh, bro?
Damn.
Yes, indeed. Get both of them, huh? I feel you, though, Jason. And they'll go good together. Speaking of that, let's listen to what Jerry Jones had to say about all of that.
Anything known to man to get in a Super Bowl. That's a fact. And there's nothing in my mind that can have a higher priority than that.
So that's Jerry Jones. He said he would do anything. Can y'all hear that audio? He said he would do anything to get in the Super Bowl. Now, this is not just to win it. This is just to get in, And this was said about 2 or 3 years ago, I believe, when that clip originally was generated. So if he said he would do anything, what's the second round draft pick? What's the third round draft pick? How can you hold on to all of your draft pick? I told you guys it was too soon to give grades out for the free agent period and the offseason period. Now, it's still too soon because they can clearly do something Monday or tomorrow, right? Or they can do something Wednesday or next week. But it is clearly, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, the Dallas Cowboys way to sit back, relax, drink their Mai Tai or their Johnny Walker Blue and chill for a minute and say the things that they done was everything. And reality is not enough. It's not enough. All right, so when you think of those things, and this is no shade at my guys that's already on this team. Clearly, the last offensive coordinator was drawing up plays with Crayolas. We know all of that. We understand all of that, right? Nevertheless, I got to sit back and say to y'all, if he said that he would do anything, then he should be on the phone with those boys saying that, hey, Odell, what's your price? What is your price then? And let's work from there. I got an incentive-based contract. You said $4 million is not enough. All right, well, we got some incentive. We would start at 4, and based upon the information and stuff that you can bring to us, it can be elevated up to 20. Yep. Appreciate you, Pac. Appreciate you for the support, for the $9.99 for your mind. Thank you for your support. Yeah, so and once again, I'm going to say this again, the Dallas Cowboys, ladies and gentlemen, they didn't do anything in free agency besides sign their own. Stephon Gilmore, that was a trade. All right. And let's say from William Blackwell, Law, we should offer the Cards our first round and move 8 spots back and take pick number 34, pick number 66, pick number 96, and Hopkins. What do you think? Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. So you mean to take their 2 third-round draft picks, right? And take their 34th pick. I'm not trying to look. Here's another thing, and that's a good point, though, William. I'm not trying to make the Cards better than what they are before. You know what I'm saying? They already announced that they are willing straight up to get a second-round draft pick for DeAndre Hopkins. Now, I don't know the stipulations of it. It could be this year's second. It could be next year's second. I don't know. But I wouldn't try to give up my first. I'm greedy because the first round draft pick is such a vital spot because you got 5 years with that said player. You got 5 years. And I'm not trying to give up my real estate of 5 years. That's 5 years and excuse me for saying this, of cheap labor. And you can negotiate those tactics very easily with your first round draft pick. Keep in mind, case in point, you got guys that's due right now. Trayvon Diggs and number 88, CD Lamb. And by CD Lamb, you have that 5-year cushion. You can start working on Trayvon Diggs. And if the Cowboys were wise and smart, they'd be working on Terrence Steele right now and Trayvon Diggs contract. But I'm not going to dog with what you're saying. I just don't agree with what you're saying. You see what I'm saying? And shout out to you again, Postal Pack 2208. Yeah, I appreciate you for your support as well. So that's how I'm looking at it. Now, here's what my guy says, John. He says, John says, would you trade Dak for Lamar? John, here's the thing. Dak Prescott is untradeable. Can somebody explain to John the reason why he's untradeable? And it's not due to his play. It's due to the language of the contract. So, look, there could be 10 teams right now that say we'll give you 5 first-round draft picks for him, which I believe that they would never say that for Dak Prescott. And the decision would be based upon Dak Prescott to honor it. Here's go. We don't wipe those 304s. James Washington getting re-signed. Man, come on, man. No way, man. If he get re-signed, boy, oh boy. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, man. Keep your money. No to Odell Beckham. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, we don't wipe those 304s, man. Hey, it'll be crazy. But here's the point of what I believe that the Cowboys front office will do, even though this guy by the name of DeAndre Hopkins pretty much said, hey, I would love to play for the Cowboys. I want to play for the Cowboys. But here's the thing. In order for this to come through, in order for this to be achieved, here it is, if we got guys that's campaigning, wanting this to happen, DeAndre Hopkins to Dallas, he want to be a Dallas Cowboys. He really see himself wearing and representing with the silver and blue. He really want this to happen. And to this is my opinion of it all, ladies and gentlemen, is that sometimes the Dallas Cowboys, when it's not originally their thoughts, they're going to sit back and say to themselves, hey, we're not going to do it because it's originally not their thoughts. It's strange to me. Like if Earl Thomas say, hey, I wanted to play for the Cowboys, come get me, right? The Cowboys say, nah, right? Or if it could be another situation that a player say, hey, I want to play for the Cowboys. I think it was Jamal Adams or something like that, the safety. If it's not originally the Jones family thoughts, they don't really pursue those things. They like to go on a chase. They like to get it out of the mud the hard way, right? Literally, when a player say that they want to play for the Cowboys, it's like them saying that they're not going to come to the Cowboys, basically. So when we think of these things, when we think of all of those things, and we say, yeah, dog, it'd be nice for that boy to be here. Yeah, it'd be nice for him to be here. It'll be nice for DeAndre Hopkins. You see Parsons banging on the table, trying to break the table in half for this dude to be here. But 9 times out of 10, if it's not originally the Jones family thoughts, they would say, you know what, we going to try to pursue this Odell Beckham thing, right? Or we're going to try to pursue a James Washington thing. Just like we would tell the Jones family, hey, you got a nice stadium. The facility is nice. Hey, it's cool when it's hot outside. It's warm when it's cold outside. But one thing, Jones family, when that sun is coming through the stadium, it seems as if though it get in the way of the game. The players get sunlight hitting them in the face. Is there a way that you can put curtains around that? And they probably say, yeah, but I like the sun. I like the sun. But I promise you, if Jerry Jones would have thought of that first, or John Stephen Jones would have thought of that first, There'll be curtains all around the stadium, right? With Dallas Cowboys logo and all types of stuff. The greats, that at the end of the year, you can cut a piece of the curtain off and sell it, right? And put it in a glass bottle or something and sell it. But by not being his thoughts first, I'm good. Let the sunlight hit the players in the eyes. The sun was there first. Like Ray J, he hit it first. The sun is there. And we can literally see every freaking time we done lose a game at the stadium, the sun was there hitting us in the face, affecting us, not affecting the opposing team. I can go all the way back to the playoff game. The playoff game the year before when we got beat down by the Niners. Cedric Wilson, first down and more yards and real estate to go. But the sun is right in his eyes. But it wasn't the player fault, it's the sun fault, right? That's just how it goes, ladies and gentlemen. So when it's not their original idea, they're going to sit back and say, you know what? We like our guys and we love the sun. You know what I'm saying? Gallup is not a trade option. This is from David C. He restructured. Yeah, so they freed up about $7 to $8 million. We all know that the Cowboys are planning to move with one player or another. I think that truly the Cowboys could be sitting back and saying, okay, we're going to play the long game and we're going to squeeze out the cards. But it was reported from Bobby Belt's account, ladies and gentlemen, that Bobby Belt, shout out to him, beat writer, insider for 105.3 The Fan, as well as a contributor of the DallasCowboys.com as their insider. He said that the Jones family, they want to win. They want to win a trade. They want to win the trade. They want to walk around with their chests out and say, hey, look at us. Look at us. Look what we done did, right? Instead of just making the trade. So if the card said that they want a second round draft pick, then they say, we'll raise you. We want to get that pick out of you for a fourth or a fifth. And then they want to walk around and say that they won, right? The Dallas Cowboys versus the Raiders. Who remember that trade with Amari Cooper? When they said that, oh, yeah, we won that one. You see, the Cowboys were 3-5. They had a failed system that year because we were going with the philosophy of hey, we don't need a number one wide receiver, right? We can do wide receiver by committee and we can do tight end by committee. We were 3-5 that year. And then when it was time to panic, those boys said, you know what? We're going to break the glass and reach out to the Raiders and give them a first round draft pick. And they were not humble with it. They were not humble with it. We went on a winning spree. There was a press conference and they walked out there with their chest up, head up, chin up, and everything else up, saying that, hey, we won that trade. We won that trade. We won, baby. And next year around this time, during the draft, we will be playing highlights of Amari Cooper. Who remember that? Show of hands. Give me a thumb up in the chat if you remember that. They won that trade. It's not about winning the trade. It's about winning the Super Bowl. It's about winning games, ladies and gentlemen. And by you winning the trade, that's missing the meat, worrying about the peas. Old folks be right, baby. JC Cowboy Network, appreciate you stopping by yesterday on my live stream. Thank you for all that you do, Law. Appreciate you, bro. Yes, indeed. I thank you. I thank you. Y'all be sure to check out JC Cowboy Network. By the way, checked out his platform. Unique, wonderful, great information. Do film analysis. And he's also on TikTok, right? And I believe IG. So y'all check the brother out. Great content. Yes, indeed. They want to win. Yeah. Christopher Blunt says, yeah, the Jones family want to win. They just want to win, right? The trade. Like, dude, that should be the last thing in your mind. Get your guy, right? And if you really trust if you trust your evaluators of the actual draft, then you will say to yourself, hey, we don't have the second round draft pick, but dog it, for sure we got a DeAndre Hopkins. So with that third and fourth and fifth round draft pick that you got, make it work. I trust y'all. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, Young Wilson. And thank you, Law, for all your work. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all are the best. You guys really are the best. All right. So with that being said, Todd Archer on 105.3 The Fan, he jumped on the episode, and he said that the Jones family will not entertain DeAndre Hopkins, and he hoped that he's wrong, and I hope that he is too, right? But those are the realities. Okay, then listen into this audio right quick.
Shine from the Giants to call his number to get him going. What have you heard about Odell?
Yeah, so the teams that I've been told were in on him were Dallas, Baltimore, and Kansas City, and potentially the Jets. And so, for me, the Giants just I don't know how they can do it now, given that they just paid Paris, they just paid Slayton, obviously they paid Daniel. I don't see that being realistic financially. I think Kansas City, Baltimore, those are teams that make sense. The Ravens would love to add him because, they still haven't, they haven't been able to find, that top tier wide receiver that Lamar Jackson has needed. And I think Bateman could be it. Duvernay had a really good year, speed guy. Obviously they have the two really good tight ends. And we still don't really know what's going to happen with Lamar. But in terms of Odell, those were the 3 or 4 teams. The Jets, another fascinating one because obviously they still have Corey Davis's contract on the books. We'll see if they release him. They have a lot of really good talent. Elijah Moore, Garrett Wilson, the 2 running backs. But if you add Odell Beckham to Aaron Rodgers potentially, I mean, Mike, come on, that's like playing. That's unbelievable.
Well, yeah, but I mean, is Odell any good anymore? I mean, it's a great name appeal. That's the thing, Jordan. I mean, how?
Yeah, no, that is a great name appeal, Odell Beckham. Let me know in the chat. Do y'all believe Odell Beckham got a little left in the tank over there? Because when we think about Odell Beckham, of course, we can look at some of the routes he ran, and we can look at the fact that he was working out in Arizona, catches the ball pretty nice, but there ain't no safety coming over the top, right? That's not him getting off of his releases. Those are all free releases, right? And that is a whole different world, right? Getting off of your releases and then knowing that you're about to get hit. So if he still have a little left in the tank, are you willing to, because you don't have to give up draft assets for him with this particular stuff, but you will have to pay the coins. Now, I would tell Odell Beckham, this is my thoughts on it. I truly believe that he can bring something to the table. He gonna miss this deep ball right here, lost track of it. Yeah. But what I'm gonna say here is I want an incentive-based contract. I would tell him the first year will be incentive-based contract. We will do all what we can to make it better for you here in Dallas. We got the best doctors. We have the best training facilities and what have you. And on top of that, you will come in as a guy that can help out the younger guys with the experience, right? With the preparation to mine. That's what I would take. That what I would say to him. And this is my deal. And this is my final offer. We're not finna go back and forth. I'm not finna go back and forth with you. I'm not built that way. We got to move on. We got to prepare ourselves for the draft. And that's just how it is. I'm not finna go back and forth. I'm not finna look. It is what it is at this point. Because if you take a clown and you put him in the palace or the kingdom, it don't stay the kingdom. It becomes a circus. So what you got to do is, and I'm not calling my guy Odell Beckham a clown, right? But that's just what it is. So you don't supposed to entertain foolishness at all, right? Either you want to play for us or don't. Old folks say either you're going to S or get off the pot, right? So that's just how it is. It is my final offer. I'll play that hardball with him, and I'll say, okay, adios. DJ Chark would fit well with us, right? And DeAndre Hopkins, I would have the presser the next day. Hey, Law, what are your thoughts? Law, the general manager of the Cowboys, what are your thoughts on adding Odell Beckham? I talked to Odell Beckham. I talked to his people. I presented an offer, and he refused. It's now on to the evaluation of others. That's how it should go. And stop dragging this thing all the way out through the mud, right? And having him saying that, hey, yeah, you know, I believe in myself, but you can't ask, you know what I'm saying, for champagne and only present boxed wine or something like that, whatever he said. Moon says the Cowboys and Ravens seems to be making parallel moves, whether it's the QB deal issues, Roquan, now the wide receiver. Also, how about the Mavs versus Lakers last night? Appreciate you for your support, man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, man. Yes, indeed. We entertain foolishness every time we listen to Jerry. Yes, indeed. So let me play this clip one more time for everybody. Let me play it one more time, y'all. One more time, because he said it from his mouth now to y'all ears. Let's play it.
Anything known to man to get in a Super Bowl. That's a fact. And there's nothing in my mind that can have a higher priority than that.
Nothing that have a high priority than that, you know. And that's just what it is. Cowboy Nation, appreciate you for your support, though, by the way. Cutthroat Law. Yeah. Why play around with it? I got Jalen Tolbert that I still got to work out. Simi Fihoko. I got high promises in Brandon Smith, who I keep bringing back. Shout out to him. And we got some guys that's on the low end that's trying to make this team. I need to figure out how Kevontae Turpin is going to fit in with this system. Now, let me transition over to the defensive side, the best side. Because y'all know I'm biased as it relates to defense, and I want my defense to become better. I do. Now, there's a guy by the name of Yannick Ngakoue. You know, he is out there, and we pulled up his stats and his accolades yesterday. The dude had 12 sacks last season. The season before that, 9. The season before that, 10. The season before that, 8. So I'm looking at the total production that this dude can get to the quarterback. And I don't like to play around with our food. I know we got Sam Williams, right? I know that we have offers that we can present to Dante Fowler, but I'm trying to better my best. And if he is one of the better, hear me out, one of the better edge guys out there, although we need more. We need more help inside. I'm not finna figure this thing out and sit back and wait too long to see if Dorrance Armstrong can be that guy. No, I'm trying to win at all costs. Give me the guy that I know for sure that can give me double-digit sacks. And it can be even more if you have corners on the outside, nice safety room, and excuse me, you got Michael Parsons. Shoot. I can think of a way. I could think of a way that Yannick is a good player. And let me poll you all right now. Let me poll you all. Would you rather have, and I ain't trying to, take a dump on my guy, Sam Williams. Y'all know I like him. I like what he brings to the table. But I'm trying to figure out ways to still use Michael Parsons as that chess piece that you can move all around on the board, right? And not just isolate him to one side of the field. And Yannick will bring that to the table. He's more consistent than a Dorrance Armstrong, and he's more consistent than a Dante Fowler, right? I need to bring in guys, weapons. I'm trying to win the chip at all costs, right? Right? And shout out to you, Cowboy Fan 95. Jerry knew he was lying. That's why he laughed when he said it. Yeah, Jerry knew he was lying. But if you pay attention to it, that joke, he was all in that nose. He was trying to get that hangman. He was trying to get that booger bear out of there. Shout out to you, Joshua. Thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Appreciate you. I would bring in Yannick. I would still have my guy, Sam Williams, into the folds too. You can never have too many pass rushers. Or would you prefer it like this? Because the Cowboys pretty much so can do that. With the 26th pick, the Dallas Cowboys select Miles Murphy. You know, would you prefer to have Miles Murphy, Yannick Ngakoue, right? Or would you prefer Dante Fowler? You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you. Lucky, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your support. You know, everything is a long way away from, yeah. I see that you guys are still talking about wide receivers. And if you guys can give me your list that you like too, I would adhere to that, right? In a pecking order before this season really kicked off the way it's supposed to be. You know, I was saying like, yeah, go get Odell Beckham, right? But things changed. I never knew that DeAndre Hopkins would love to play for the Star. And I'm sitting here looking at this thing saying to y'all right now, let's go in this order. In this order for me, DeAndre Hopkins, number one. Off-season acquisition. Number two, I like DJ. If he's still out there, he'll be number two. Number three, my guy, Odell Beckham, got all the way down to number three because he's mentioning the money more than he's mentioning, hey, I'm good, I can play. And then when we say, hey, Odell, let me see up under that hood, man, I'm good, dog. You know what I'm saying? You just got to take my word for it, man. I'm an 8-cylinder car. Hey, man, how do I know? Nah, man, I got to check up under the hood. Nah, man, just got to take my word for it, man. Well, let me test drive it by myself. Nah, man, I got to be with you. And it got to be in my terrain. Nah. That's from the wide receivers' perspectives, you know. Some people said, who got Bobby? You got Bobby Wags, okay. This is from my guy, Young Senior. Okay, he says Bobby Wagner is his number one choice. Now, Bobby, it's been reported that Bobby would love to play for the 2023 season. He said God is good. I always thought that, hey, when you saying something like that, you know, you posting it, you know, out there on Twitter. Yes, God is good all the time. But are you willing to say that you got an offer deal? Some deals that you make in the free agency got to be for long term, a long shot away, meaning that you will have to wait till after the draft. I look at like this from here. The market is, nobody's beating down the market for Bobby Wagner. And how I know is because he's still on the market. Nobody's beating down the market for Dalton Schultz. How do you know, Law? He's still out there on the market. He's still out there. So by him still being out there, that lets me know that the price, whatever he's asking for, or the determination of the supply and demand, they are not really looking at those two boys. And if you can wait till after the draft, baby, that will be a layup for us. Yes, indeed. Y'all get what I'm saying? That's why that's what I said to somebody asked me about T.Y. Hilton. They need to keep T.Y. T.Y. Hilton is a perfect example to what I just said. Perfect in all of the conversational piece that you can literally wait till after the draft. After the draft, there will be these things that happen. One, teams going to look at their veteran guys and say to themselves, we no longer need your services because we drafted a guy. Two, there will be more and more weapons for you available from the veteran aspect. There will be guys with you can target teams with new coaching staff, with new coaching philosophy, with guys that was already on that team that don't fit how they're going to run their system and scheme. They're going to be the first to go, right? Out with the old, in with the new. So if the Jones family say to themselves, hey, we worked enough right now. We done signed Donovan Wilson. We done read up most of the guys that we wanted to keep on this team. And hey, y'all get off our backs because we got plans and procedures after the draft. We believe that we like our guys. We draft pretty well. We would like to make some moves after the draft. Be patient with us. It's a long journey for the offseason. Then that's okay. But for dog sure, I'm going to still, and I want you guys to still push and apply the pressure. Yeah, because Captain Rob, they will sell us those things for 27 years. We've been waiting for 27 years, right? Because after the draft, here's the other part of it. And my guy says facts right here. After the draft, here's the number one part of it. The selling. I don't think that anybody can sell better than the Jones family. There's not no one that's in this chat right now that was saying, hey, man, that Jalen Tolbert is going to be a bust. That Jalen Tolbert was horrible. You know what I'm saying? That Jalen Tolbert will not be able to do X, Y, and Z. Everybody had high optimisms about Jalen Tolbert. Oh, man, in this system, shoot, he's a 4-4 guy. He's physical at the top of his route. He can get separation, blah, blah, blah. And I said to all of y'all last year, hey, man, hey, I feel you on that. I don't want to be evil law over here, but it's an unknown. We don't know. He was doing that at South Alabama, not at Alabama, but at South Alabama, right? Now I lost, stop being negative, man. I was like, man, come on, man. Let me go get DK Metcalf. And what happened? A whole year went by. And it took forever for me to be right about my point. But here's what.
Well, what I'm saying is that there are known knowns and that there are known unknowns. But there's also unknown unknowns. Things we don't know that we don't know.
So what I don't want to happen here is we heading into this season and we'll go draft Cedric Tillman. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, he's dad's like, man, he can be X, Y, and Z. You know, just give him a chance and opportunity. Cedric Tillman, baby. Y'all better watch out. You know, or Tank Dell or whatever, you know, whoever we may go draft with a wide receiver when you have DeAndre Hopkins there. You see what I'm saying? It's a big difference. You know, my guy Terrence, man, appreciate you. Jerry knows how to sucker the fan base. You know, yes, indeed, man. He do know how to do that. Yeah. Kenny Galladay, Roby Anderson, Richie James, Scotty Miller, anyone could be a maybe. You're right. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Here's a go right here. Hopkins for sure too, if possible. Yeah. All right. So what I like to do on this beautiful Saturday afternoon, I want to know your thoughts. I love to do interactive shows on Saturday before we depart or what have you. And I'm going to copy this right here. And if for those who want to be a part of this episode, and if you have a YouTube page, you can attach your YouTube page as well. It will be in the chat log right there in the chat area. I don't know where my cell phone is at, but you guys can be a part of this particular episode. Click that link and you will be added to the show. And let's go. Yesterday, let's go get Mingo, baby. Jonathan, you know, he's pretty good too, by the way. Don't sleep on it, brother. Now, I like this Wheaton Ford guy too. Bryce, was it Bryce Wheaton or Bryce Ford Wheaton? Bryce Ford Wheaton Ford Bryce. What's your opinion on the Niners? That we gonna beat their tail. You know what I'm saying? So that's my opinion on the Niners, though. Appreciate y'all so much. Let me know if y'all got that link in the description box. Jump on in before the news escape us. Give me 1 second, too, by the way. Let me do this, too. I forgot to do this so I can pin it. Give me 1 second here. Boom. Here we go. I'm going to pin it to the top. Appreciate y'all so much for tuning in for the show. Let me go right here. It's going to be at the top to join the stream. There we go. That's better. And it's pinned to the top of my YouTube page. You got to turn your camera on, Kingdom Fit, and we'll get you in. Turn your camera on to join the show. Click that link right there. Turn your camera on, and we get to rocking. Got to be by good internet too. What quarterback are we getting? I think that they still high on Hendon. You know, Hooker. I think Hendon Hooker will be pretty good. Max will be another guy from TCU. I think that they like that guy, and they might pick him up in the later rounds. I think that you can probably squeeze him out for this team and on this team. Yes, indeed. Is he legit? Yep. Hendon is legit. Shout out to y'all, all of those who watching. Like I said, on the defensive side, we can go get a Yannick. I think that the defensive tackle market and dried up. If y'all know any defensive tackle out there that's available, let me know. But I don't know. You know, appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. Give you a couple more seconds before we depart. The link is at the top of the video on my YouTube page to be a part of this episode. Give a couple more minutes. Appreciate y'all so much. DHOP has a contract that's not unreasonable. Yeah. DHOP, and then he's willing. You know, he's willing to say, hey, I would take less money. I would negotiate my contract. Whereas on one end, someone said that they would take less money. On the other end, someone said, hey, I'm worth more money, you know? So you got to weigh out your options. DeAndre Hopkins versus Odell Beckham. One is willing to take less money, and one is saying that I'm worth more money. Calais Campbell, Jalen, he's 37. And it will be a cup of coffee. It will literally be a contract like a Tyron Smith. He had 6 sacks last season, and I'm talking about Calais Campbell, and I don't think that we had an interior guy with that amount of sacks. So, yeah, shout out to you from Sean. Thank you so much. He said, love the broadcast. Much love from Amarillo. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. All right. So it appears that no one wanted to join in. I thank y'all so much. We'll wrap up the show from here. Be sure to hit that like button, share this content, let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. I really thank y'all. Love y'all to the moon and back, Cowboy Nation. Hey, it is what it is at this point. I know some people got
emotional, damn it.
But it is what it is at this point. Cowboy Nation. Already, yeah, you can join on the Facebook. I already sent a link. But we up out of here, baby. One love. DC for life, not for short. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing, and I mean just that, nothing but the best. Let's go.